Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
They have cold beer and action on the game.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
It's time for the Degenerates Next Door.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Meaningful games to bet on. Like real things, not Russian table tennis, not an obscure golf tournament. Real college football games to bet on, baby, and I'm here for it.
Why you got to dump on golf? What did golf ever do to you?
It's boring. It's boring to watch, Rob.
Let's face it, Rob, your whole life is just boring.
It's boring. My name is Jason Hammer. I host the Hammer and Nigel show in Indianapolis, alongside the unofficial mayor of Brownsburg, Indiana, former elected official in the great state of Indiana, my fellow degenerate, Rob Kendall. Rob, how are you?
I am great. Football is here, and damn is week 0 hard because nobody knows anything about anybody.
Is there such a thing, though, as week 0?
No, it's made up.
We've had this conversation before. Either you have something or you don't. Like, if you have $0 in your bank account, you don't have any money.
That's true.
But yet here we are, week 0. There are multiple games taking place. This is week 1.
Yeah, and look, here's my thing about the whole start of the season. I think everybody should get like a couple of freebie bets in their account.
Oh, I can almost hear the sports books going, you know what? We've been too hard on people. We're going to start passing out freebies. Have you seen what they do in Vegas now? You don't even get a free drink ticket for like a $300 bet anymore.
Because like I'm looking at these games, and okay, I got to pick 2 of these games, and I'm studying, I'm trying to do the research, but nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything about any of these teams. They're all, and it's so hard now because they're all transfer portal people, and these guys came in, and these guys left, and this guy was hurt half of the year, and blah blah blah. It's so damn hard until about the 3rd week of the season. Well, it's hard all the time.
But this is why we do the research so you don't have to. Now, Rob and I, not professional handicappers, okay? But we had winning seasons last year. We put our record up against a lot of the quote-unquote pros that lose all the damn time.
Yeah, and we take this very serious. Look, we hate losing, and we have no pride, but what little might still be remaining in our system, it plays out here in these picks. We try, we look, we research, but you're right, Hammer. We admit we're just dudes who watch sports, and we have some thoughts based on that.
We do the research, we crunch the numbers, we give our plays out, and we surround ourselves with professional handicappers, and we make them give free picks on this show. So tell your friends about this podcast, the Degenerates Next Door. Maybe they want to sponsor it. Maybe they just want to listen. That's fine, but we're bringing in pros. We're basically strong-arming them. We're going full Soviet strongman, and we're making our pros give free picks to you.
Yeah, and let's point that out. You don't have to be a sports betting website. We'd love to have a sports betting website that we could use for this program, but we'll sell just about anything. As long as it doesn't end us with our photos at the post office, we'll pretty much sell about anything if you would like to sponsor the Degenerates Next Door.
If Deion Sanders can be confident enough to endorse like adult diapers for his bladder condition, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's fantastic. I've got no shame. If you are Viagra and you want to sponsor this show, we will have the Boner of the Week brought to you by Viagra, the college kid that made the biggest mistake. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, you got a construction company, a beer, a bar, whatever. Hey, how can people get a hold of you if they want to do that?
Reach out to me directly. You can find us on Twitter at Gambling Stuff. At Gambling Stuff, just like it's spelled. And send us a message there, and we will start DMing each other. We'll make it happen.
And we will shill. I mean, you have no idea the level to which we will shill. And look, we've got proven track records as radio professionals. We do get results.
We do. There's a reason why our clients in radio never leave us, because we sell their product. So now that we're done being Krusty the Clown and whoring ourselves out like he would do on the Simpsons episodes, let's get down to brass tacks here, Rob. We got a pretty good game to kick off the slate. It's in Ireland, but honestly, it could decide the Big 12. You've got number 17, Kansas State, taking on number 22, Iowa State. They had a great game last year. Kansas State, 3-point favorite, over under right around 50.5.
I would hate this if I were a fan of either of these two teams because I need like a warm-up game, right? Like you need to play an Indiana State or, Marion or something like that.
Oh, come on. We got Ohio State and Texas next week.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want that if it was my team right out of the gate. Like I'd want a warm-up game. I'm saying it's great as a fan. You got something fun to watch. I'm saying if I were a fan of one of these two teams, I would hate having a tough game out of the gate. All right, here's what we're doing. I'm going under 50.5 in this Iowa State-Kansas State game. Here's why. It's week 1. The coaches probably aren't
sorry, it's week 0.
Well, that's
Rob.
right. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. It's the first game of the year.
Because that's totally a real thing, week 0.
That's right. Yes. It's week 0, the first game of the year. These coaches probably aren't going to do anything too crazy. It's in Dublin. The teams on paper are pretty evenly matched. Both offenses lost some dudes from last year. They're both bringing their quarterbacks back. There's a 6-hour time difference. It's going to be about 10 to 15 degrees colder than it would be here. Rain is in the forecast. And the last 4 games in Dublin are under their totals by an average of almost 9 points.
I believe it was the Dublin game where we found out that Florida State certainly wasn't the team from the previous year. Like, we all saw firsthand, I think it was last year, how ass Florida State was.
Yeah, and they were ranked. They were like 10th or something like that. And we were like, what? Clemson was it Clemson beat them by 1 million or something like that?
Closer than what it should have been, considering how bad that Florida State team was. But this is a good game, though. This is a good conference game. 2 ranked teams, K-State and Iowa State. So you are writing the under, is that right?
Under 50.5. So I look... So I'm looking forward to a 51-50 shootout in the game in Dublin, Ireland.
All right. I am going to hitch my wagon to the Wildcats here. Give me K-State, and I'm going to lay the 3.
Ooh.
Kansas State, I think they have the better quarterback. Like, I like Iowa State's dude, and his name is awesome, Rocco Brecht. But I think Avery Johnson's the better quarterback. They bring back one of their tailbacks, Dylan Edwards. Their linebacker, the Romaine kid, he's a stud. They got a pretty good front 7 defensively. I think they're better defensively. But more than anything else, those NFL wide receivers are not running out of that tunnel this year for Iowa State. And Rocco was good, but I think a lot of quarterbacks could be good when you've got 1,000-yard NFL wide receivers on each side of the field. That's not the case this year. And if you look at the way Iowa State won last year, it was such an implosion of Kansas State. That's why. Fumbling the first snap of the game, another big interception deep in their territory. They missed a field goal. They had a safety. If K-State just eliminates half of that nonsense, they win the game last year. And I don't think it's close. So I'm going to lay 3 here. I don't think there's any possible way Kansas State could self-destruct again when they're bringing back so many dudes the way they did last year. I'm going to lay 3. I want Kansas State over Iowa State. Now, we've got other games on the slate here, Rob. Dealer's choice. Where do you want to go?
I'm going to stay in the state of Kansas. Kansas is hosting Fresno State. Now, look, Kurt Warner's kid. You know this Kurt Warner's kid is the new quarterback at Fresno State?
Kurt Warner could sling it.
And he came from, I think it was at Temple. He was at Rice. They got a new head coach. But the team is basically starting from scratch. Now, I think like a Texas could start from scratch because of the transfer portal, and they might be able to put together something decent. I don't see Fresno State starting from scratch. Here's the problem. Jalen Daniels is the quarterback for Kansas. I think this is like his 933rd season.
Okay.
And I'm not totally sold that Kansas, because they seemed like Mr. Disappointment last year, is a bunch of world beaters. Now, the spread in this game is 12.5. I think Fresno State kind of stinks, but I don't think Jalen Daniels is that great, and I don't think they're a bunch of world beaters. So what I do think is that Kansas's defensive line is going to bully Fresno. I think Kansas likes to play like a tortoise, just under 29 seconds per play last year. They're one of the slowest teams in college football. And Kansas has a bunch of transfers coming in who are still figuring out how to play together. The under in this game is 50.5. I'm going under 50.5 in Kansas versus Fresno State.
So 2 unders right out of the gate.
Mr. Excitement going with the unders, baby. Living large.
All right. I will go to the gambler's best friend, the Hawaii home game on a Saturday.
Yeah!
Now, unfortunately, this game doesn't kick off at midnight like I normally expect it.
Yeah.
This is a 7:30, I believe, kickoff from the islands, so a much earlier start for them. Stanford at Hawaii. Hawaii now a 2.5-point favorite. This line has kind of been jumping back and forth a little bit. Over, under, like a lot of these games, around 50.5. Here's the thing. This is more of a fade on Stanford than it is me loving Hawaii here. Because Stanford's a mess. Stanford is a total mess. So they fired their coach last year. Okay, that happens. They haven't found a full-time guy yet. They named Andrew Luck as the general manager of the whole program. So what does he do? When he's not quitting on his teammates, he brings in interim head coach Frank Reich. Now tell me, what transfer, what incoming freshman is excited about going to a school, one, that's super hard to get into, and number two, you don't even know who the coach is going to be next year. And the one coach you got this year doesn't really have the greatest coaching resume. Oh, Frank Reich. Colt fans, tell me what you think about the Franken monster here. So this is a total fade of Stanford. Man, they were 3-9 at one point last year. It was awful. And with Hawaii, one, they're at home. And two, maybe, just maybe, their quarterback is a dude. Now, they're starting a kid named Micah Alhondo. Now, we don't know if he's good or bad, but he had one start last year. One start. 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. They were 4-0-1 against the spread in Aloha Stadium. Hawaii's not great, and it wouldn't shock me if they laid an egg here, but their quarterback might be a dude. So I've got more faith that he could be the dude than I do anything Frank Reich and Andrew Luck are putting on right now.
Yeah, and that guy that's the Stanford quarterback was at Oregon State last year, and they played a bunch of teams that I was interested in, so I got to know them, bet on them quite a bit last year. He's lucky he's not working at a gas station.
Right.
Oregon State stunk.
So I will lay the 2.5 with Hawaii on the island. I wish this game were at midnight so I could stay up being on pins and needles at 3 o'clock in the morning, getting yelled at by my wife. But I'll watch it in real time, lay the 2.5 with Hawaii. Now, since it is week 0, which totally exists according to the mathematical wizards in college football, Rob, I've got a serious question for you. Are you ready to get nuts?
All right, want to get nuts? Come on.
Let's get nuts! Lights out! Now you want to get nuts! Come on! Let's get nuts.
Now, you've got options. It could be college football. It could be Major League Baseball. Hell, maybe you want to do golf. You're the golf guy. But do you have enough hair on your peaches to do preseason NFL football?
Oh, I do, Hammer, and this is so great.
Let's go.
We've even given it a name. We're calling this one the old Thursday, Friday night NFL regular season switcheroo.
Boy, that's a mouthful.
So what we're doing here is I took every team that would be favored to lose in the regular season.
Okay.
And then I picked them to win on the money line in the preseason.
So, like, who are some of the teams playing here? Give me an example.
So, for example, you've got Carolina plus 194 against the Steelers.
Now, in the regular season, the Steelers would be favored to beat Carolina.
But I'm picking Carolina on the money line. You've got the Patriots plus 235 versus the Giants. You've got the Jets minus 134 versus the Eagles. Now, I think that's because all the Eagles guys are going to be out. The Jets would certainly be heavy underdogs in the regular season.
Sure.
But in the preseason, they're a favorite. You got the Titans, minus 205 versus the Vikings. And the Bears, plus 108 versus the Chiefs. These are all the preseason Thursday and Friday games this week. So, to review, Carolina, plus 194 against the Steelers. Patriots, plus 235 against the Giants. Jets, minus 134 versus the Eagles. Titans, minus 205 versus the Vikings. And Bears, plus 108 versus the Chiefs. You put them all together. Hammer, here's the number you get. Plus 5222. That's 4 digits. Plus 5222. A $5 bet would pay you $261.12.
All right. Want to get nuts? Come on.
Let's get nuts! Lights out. Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
Watching you put together a ridiculous preseason sucker bet parlay, I should be mad, but I find myself looking at you like that meme, the gif of Zach Galifianakis when he's on the bike, just slowly nodding his head with approval.
Thank you.
That's where I'm at.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know if I can touch that, but I do have, for the first time this college football season, a degenerate special.
It's time for Hammer's Degenerate Special.
Look, we don't have a lot of options. It's a limited schedule for this first real weekend of college football games. We got a ranked matchup that could decide the Big 12. But let's turn our attention to Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers are at home here. Western Kentucky is a 10.5-point home favorite. Over-under is right around 61.5. Now, this is another conference game. And I got to be honest, Rob, heading into this week, I had every intention of betting on Sam Houston here. Not because I love them or it's some sort of fade against Western, but in a conference game, 10.5 is a big number. 10.5 might as well be 13 because nobody wins by 11 and nobody wins by 12, basically. So this 10.5 is really 13. That's a big number for week one in a conference game when these teams have had all offseason to prepare. So I really thought about that, but then I saw the number and I started teetering. But what really made me get off of a side was the starting quarterback of Western Kentucky. There's no way I can bet against a guy who's got one of the great names in all of college football. Starting behind center for the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky this year, Maverick MacGyver.
What?
Maverick MacGyver is the name of the starting quarterback of Western Kentucky. Previously from Texas Tech, last played at Abilene Christian. He's a transfer. Now, last year, granted the competition level wasn't as steep, 30 touchdowns, just 7 picks, 3,847 yards. Maverick MacGyver. It sounds like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer says his name is Max Power.
Yeah.
I think Maverick MacGyver is a better name than Max Power.
I agree.
I can't bet against that guy. So we're going to focus on the total here. We're looking at 61.5. Each of Sam Houston State's last 6 games against conference opponents have gone under the total. Last year, Western Kentucky won by a score of 31-14. Both of these teams replacing a lot of production from both sides of the ball. I hate to be this guy, Rob, but I'm going to join you in the unders club here. Under 61.5. That is your degenerate special for this week 0. All right, those are our picks. Now let's hear from our professionals. Professional handicappers coming up next. We're demanding they give you a free pick on the biggest game of the weekend. Kansas State, Iowa State, and then whatever else they want is all gravy. Kenny Britt of KB Sports, David Stephanoff of Fall and Never Fade. They are coming up next. We are the Degenerates Next Door. Meaningful college football games are back. We are excited. We're having a good time. We are the Degenerates Next Door. I'm Jason Hammer. Rob Kendall right across from me. We've given our picks, but we are not professional handicappers. We're just degenerates who do our homework. But we're friends with professional handicappers like Kenny Britt of KB Sports. He joins us. And Kenny, we've been counting down the weeks, and now it's officially go time. We have meaningful college football games this weekend.
Yes, we've been counting down the weeks since January, I think.
Right. And we got a good one, like to kick off the season. Week 0, for those who buy into that. I think everybody knows where I'm at on that. But week 0, you've got 2 ranked teams, conference game. Now, it's in Ireland, but Kansas State and Iowa State, 17 against number 22. So where are we at? This is the game of the week. Rob is on the under. I'm on Kansas State. I'm going to lay the field goal here. You're the professional, though, my friend. What do you think?
Well, first of all, Rob took the under. That's interesting because I didn't think he bet unders. I thought that was boring.
No, Rob is boring. Rob is the boring one. Like, that's kind of his thing, but he laid out a pretty compelling case for the under. I'll give him that.
Okay, I'll be interested to hear that because I am on the other side. I like the over, and I'll tell you why. I know, going over there to Ireland, it's tough. 5-hour time difference, all that stuff. But both these quarterbacks have been in this system. They didn't leave like everybody does. They've been in this system for a couple of years. They're both explosive quarterbacks. I think both teams have returned basically the whole offense and defense. Both teams have returning starters all over the place. I really like the over in this game. Last year it was 50 points, and that's right where the total is at 50. And I like it to go over. I think both quarterbacks are going to have some explosive plays. I think you'll see a defensive score in this game, and I like the over, and I like it comfortably.
Now, Rob will come to the table with the weather in Ireland is always 10 to 15 degrees cooler. Rain, as of right now, at the time of this podcast on Thursday, is in the forecast. And the reason I'm on K-State here is those NFL wide receivers ain't coming out of the tunnel for Iowa State this year. Any concerns with any of those things, Kenny?
Yeah, the wide receiver thing is a small concern. And, they also, everybody always talks about first game or two of the season in college and pro. Offense is all about timing. I mean, the timing is going to be off. But again, all these guys, Iowa State, they do have new receivers, but most of the players have been in this offense on both sides of the ball. They know the offense. The quarterbacks can both use their legs. So I'm really not concerned. I like the over quite a bit. I also want to mention you can't call yourself a degenerate if you're not betting on a game with a quarterback in it named Rocco, right? Or Tommy DeVito from the Giants. I mean,
look,
come on now.
I've given you my quarterback crush already in the show. Like, I know it's a degenerate pick, but Maverick MacGyver from Western Kentucky might be the most badass name of anybody I've ever heard in my life. Maverick MacGyver. Like, it almost sounds like Ron Mexico, something that Michael Vick would check into a facility to get himself checked.
That's a great name. MacGyver, yes, absolutely.
Maverick MacGyver.
Yeah, but I love Rocco, man. Rocco, yeah, you got to bet on this game. You have to. But like you mentioned at the beginning, what a great game for week 0 or whatever we want to call it. What a great game. I mean, this could literally decide in week 0. It could literally decide the Big 12 champion.
Right. Neutral site
really
game.
Good.
Yeah, for sure. These other games on the schedule here, any of these move the needle for you? Because you know me, as a degenerate, I always have the late night Hawaii game in my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as late this year. It's a 7:30 kickoff our time here on the East Coast. But I'm on Hawaii more or less it's a fade of Stanford. Stanford's a mess. They have an interim head coach. And oh, by the way, that's Frank Reich of all people. So I like Hawaii, but it's more or less a fade of Stanford. Any other games on this week 0 slate that have your interest? Anything you want to put some skin on?
Not really. Nothing really interested me after this. If I were betting the Fresno State-Kansas game, I would take Fresno State in the points, but that's not like a VIP play I'm going to give out. Fresno State's quarterback is Kurt Warner's boy, so it'd be interesting to see how he does. Be interested to watch him and see how he does. But no, not really this week. But remember, next week, the real week 1 or whatever we're going to call it, games start Thursday night, and you've got good games Thursday and Friday night. We don't have to wait until Saturday. We go Thursday night, baby, and I'll be ready.
Heck yeah. Give me one more play since we got you on the horn here. Give me a little bit more action. If you're not going to bet any more of these week 0 games,
gotcha.
Do you got baseball or do you got horse racing? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I've got a baseball play for everybody tonight. San Francisco Giants run line, they're plus 1.5. It's only minus 140. I really like that matchup, pitching matchup. So I like the Giants plus 1.5 on the run line tonight.
Okay.
And horse racing Saturday, you got Saratoga. You got 7 or 8 stakes races this weekend. They don't close until next weekend, but this weekend is their big, huge weekend. Sovereignty, the Belmont and Kentucky Derby winner, is running this weekend. Not going to make any money off of him because he's going to be 1-5, but just watch him. Beautiful horse. And you might not get much more opportunity to watch him after November. So give that race a watch, and you might see some greatness out of him this Saturday.
All right, so for the record, you are on the over in Kansas State and Iowa State, over 50.5, correct?
Yep, that's right. Something we didn't mention, or you may have already, shop around. We'll probably mention that every week.
Oh, yeah.
Every week we'll mention that because a half a point makes a huge difference. Trust us.
Until we get sponsored by a major sports book, and then we will live and die with that one, Kenny. But until happens, we're shopping around like it's Black Friday right now. Hey, where can somebody go to become a client of yours?
Yeah, guys, I'm on Facebook at KB Sports. I've got the entire football season, college and pro football, for only $275 for the entire season all the way through the Super Bowl. That's less than $55 a month. Last year, I ended up the entire season, college and pro, 35 games over 500. That was just over 61% last year, guys. I think I had one losing season up until Thanksgiving last year, or one losing week up until Thanksgiving last year. So I had a great year last year and looking forward to it again.
My man, he's a big, hairy American winning machine. That's Kenny Britt of KB Sports. Become a client of his today. Look for KB Sports on Facebook. My man, we'll do it next week when we got a much bigger slate to play with.
Big time slate. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go from one professional handicapper to another one. We're going to give you a different perspective. David Stephanoff, Follow Never Fade. He's the man that runs that. He will join us next. We'll find out what he thinks. Kansas State and Iowa State. Does he want the points? Is he going to lay the 3? Over? Under? We'll find out. David Stephanoff joins us next. This is the Degenerates Next Door podcast. Come on back. Week 0. So ridiculous to even say that. But it's here, and we're into it, and we're going to bet on it because we are the Degenerates Next Door. We're not the neighbors next door. We're not the friends. We are the Degenerates Next Door. I'm Jason Hammer, Rob Kendall, Kenny Britt of KB Sports, and another one of our professional handicappers that we lean on quite a bit here is David Stephanoff of followneverfade.com. David, big game of the week, could decide the Big 12. Number 17, Kansas State. Number 22, Iowa State in Ireland. K-State is a 3-point favorite. Over under right around 50.5. Rob is on the under. Kenny's on the over. I'm taking K-State here. I'm going to lay the points. You're the pro. What say you?
First off, thank you, Hammer. Thank you, the Mayor of Brownsburg and Kenny Britt of KB Sports. First off, Hammer, what is week 0? Did we get it? Does it not count? Is that what it means? Do we get to make
stupid.
bets? Our bets don't count. Do we are these practice bets we're making? What's week 0 mean? Come on, it's week 1. That's just the dumbest stuff ever.
Since when has college been good at numbers, though? How many teams are in the Big Ten now? Like, math has never been their strong suit, David.
You're absolutely right. But we do have football. We got some actually, halfway decent games. The game in Ireland, is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be one-sided, Hammer. I think I'm going to ride with you here with the better team here. I do like Kenny's play a little bit on the over. They opened up at 49. It's up to 51.5 some places. It was literally 49 not even a week ago. It's up to 51.5, 51, 52 some places. I'm with you on Kansas State. I think they got one of the best, maybe the best quarterback in the conference. Don't get me wrong. Guy for Iowa State's good, but Kansas State, this is where they're going to tear them up at, the tight ends. They got better tight ends, better receivers. They got a decent running back. I think Kansas State's offense is the one unit here of all four sides that has the advantage of everybody. I'm not saying Iowa State's going to not score no points, but I think Kansas State, laying this 3 here, Hammer, is a good number. They're loaded with tight ends, and their defense is pretty good against the run. I think Iowa State's got a lot of new young people, a lot of young transfers. They don't have no receivers, a lot of young receivers. It's going to be difficult for them to score, but I think knowing both offense, but they get 2 good veteran quarterbacks, you're going to get some points out of this game regardless. But at the end of the day, I'm right with you, Hammer, on Kansas State -3.
Yeah, I'm looking back to last year, right? And I like Rocco, Iowa State's quarterback, but
Yes.
missing 2 NFL wide receivers is a big deal. And if you watch that game a year ago where Iowa State won it, there were so many self-induced errors from Kansas State, like fumbling the first play of the game, missing kicks, getting a safety, all this stuff adding up. If they can just eliminate half of those mistakes, I feel like I'm going to ride with K-State here.
And I hear that we hear every day that how good the Iowa State coach is, how good he is, as Campbell is. He hasn't produced yet. But facts. They barely won a bowl game last year. But I just don't think that the Kansas State's got more. They're more well balanced. Total all. I mean, the quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks have got some bets. Like you see it spot on. The receivers for Iowa State are not the same as they were last year. I think Kansas State's offense just keeps going when Iowa State's offense might putter a little bit.
I'm with you. So you're going to ride with me, and we're going to lay 3 with Kansas State. David Stephanoff with us, pro handicapper at followneverfade.com. Any other games on this early slate that have your interest?
I heard the Mayor of Brownsburg, I'm a big fan of his, but I don't know how in the world we end up on the opposite side of this game, this Kansas-Fresno State game. I heard what he had to say and his reasoning. I just think Kansas could put up 50 here against Fresno State. I think Fresno State's going to run the ball down Kansas' throat. But I think Kansas State-Fresno over 50. It's one of my biggest plays of the week. It's a VIP play. I love this game. Kansas-Fresno State. Let me get my names right. Kansas-Fresno State. I know we all know Kansas got great quarterback. They got a little good. They got new running back. Good offense. They return. Their defense is not good. They don't return hardly anybody. They're one of the less productive defenses that return in the conference. And Fresno's going to run the ball. I know Warner's son's the quarterback. He's not a very good quarterback. He don't throw the ball very much. But they got 2 running backs that absolutely will run the ball down Kansas' throat. I love the over 50 in Kansas-Fresno State, Hammer.
No concern about the historically slow pace that Kansas likes to do.
I don't think that's they're going to be their prerogative this year as much as against this team. Fresno, like the defense, it's a soft defense. Both defenses are real vulnerable to run and the pass. I think Kansas could definitely put up just 50 by themselves because at Fresno State, they're going to run the ball. They're going to get huge gashes of runs on Kansas' defense, huge gashes of runs. I just think Kansas could put up, as long as Fresno put up 10, we're definitely getting there over the 50.
Okay, so it sounds like you love the over on this one, and gun to your head, would you say Kansas covers? I mean, it's kind of a big number. I thought this was more evenly matched. Home.
I don't think it's evenly matched as that. Fresno's got it's a downgrade almost all the positions they have. But just Kansas' offense, it's early in the year. They got a lot of vets on the offensive side. I just think they're at home. It's just Bad line. It's a bad line. This line's moved. This line has moved back and forth, though, like it's going to be a close game. But my strong play is still the overs. Fresno State's definitely going to run the ball on Kansas, regardless of what happens.
All right. If anybody wants to become a client of yours, David, as we get closer and closer to a full slate of college and NFL action, where can they go?
Right now, you follow me everywhere, guys. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We got tons of followers. College football starts this week, and we all know that. My football package is available. For my football package, you get baseball for free for the rest of the year when you sign up for my football package. Let me tell you about baseball. Last 4 out of 5 nights, Hammer can vouch for us. We've swept 4 out of 5 last 4 nights in baseball. We've been absolute epic run in baseball. You get all my plays when you sign up for football, all the baseball plays through the World Series, every regular season, NFL and college play for one price. Text to your phone or add you to the Facebook, no chat on Messenger. But, hey, follow me everywhere. I thank everybody for listening. We got a lot of listeners. Thank you, Hammer. You're the captain of this ship. Rob, the mayor of Brownsburg, Kenny Britt, KB Sports. But thank you for everybody. Let's make some money this week, this college season. Good luck to everybody. But don't forget to follow Never Fade.
All right. That's it, man. Week 0 plays. I am on Kansas State. I'm going to lay 3. I got Hawaii. I'm going to lay 2.5. Degenerate special. I'm going under 61.5. Sam Houston and Western Kentucky. The unofficial mayor of Brownsburg, Indiana, Rob Kendall. He's on the under 50.5. Kansas State and Iowa State. He's going under 50.5. Kansas and Fresno. He's got a wild let's get nuts for you. You'll have to go back and listen to it. We don't have time to break it all down. Kenny Britt of KB Sports. He is on the over in the K-State and Iowa State game. He's got a little Major League Baseball play for you tonight with San Francisco. And David Stephanoff, follow, never fade. He's with me. He's going to lay 3 with Kansas State. And he's taking the over in Kansas and Fresno. Those are our plays. Do with that information as you want. Do whatever you feel. Do whatever you think is going to put some green into your pocket. Let's have a good time. Let's get drunk. Let's have some food. Man, I'm so happy college football is back. For Rob Kendall, for Kenny Britt of KB Sports, for David Stephanoff of Follow Never Fade, I'm Jason Hammer, and as always, may the odds be ever in your favor. We'll be back next Thursday for a full Week 1 slate. Don't want to miss that one. Tell your friends about the Degenerates next door.